What's going on, guys? Your boy Mason. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me going over the season 5 Labyrinth here and explaining how I was able to actually clear through the entire thing, guys, and covering pretty much everything you need to know about this Labyrinth specifically. So we're gonna be explaining, the best characters to pick along the way, my tips and tricks, and what I actually did throughout my fights to actually beat through the entire Labyrinth and kind of cheese my way through it, with the best possible, characters that I could get on my account like throughout the run. So if you guys enjoy videos like this where I'm able to kind of guide you guys through like a type of content in the game, specifically this time being Labyrinth, definitely make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Your boy's been grinding and we're almost at the 40,000 subscribers, man. We're about 5,000 subscribers away. We could definitely close that in sometime soon. So if you guys enjoyed the channel at all, definitely make sure to subscribe. And with that out of the way, guys, let's actually hop in and go over my Labyrinth run here. Alright, guys, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to kind of discuss the Labyrinth run itself. So as the video is playing here, I'll kind of discuss and explain to you guys my strategies here and the most notable parts of the entire Labyrinth here, where we'll kind of talk and we'll just decide why it's important to cover this point of the video. But right here, guys, as you can see at the beginning of the video, I picked Goddess Elizabeth, and the reason why we picked Goddess Elizabeth is because if you guys don't know what she's able to do, she's actually going to be able to increase attack related stats and basic stats of allies whenever she's able to pretty much use a skill and increase the attack related of the team. So I think that's going to be a really strong part of her passive. And you can actually run her with any characters in the game. She's not limited to like a specific like race or like anything like that. She's pretty much just a worse Kizuna, but she still gets the job done, which is the good part of using Goddess Elizabeth. So right here, this first run here, I actually did not put it on like fast speed here because I wanted to more, kind of explain the main reasoning for taking her over the other characters. But yeah, the reason why she's so strong is because of the attack related, is because of the basic stats she's able to provide. And I think overall Elizabeth will be the strongest pick from the jump because she's able to help you early game for making your damage really strong. Because later game, you definitely want to have pretty good damage as well. But I think the issue arises a lot in this Labyrinth is definitely early on. That's when you're probably going to struggle the most. Right here, guys, as you can see, I was actually able to get a passive there which increases allies attack by 20% for each female participating in battle. That is one of the strongest passives you can get this entire Labyrinth, because the way it works is that for every female ally participating, I get allies increase of attack. So if I have like 2 or 3 allies that are female, we get 60% attack for everybody. If it's 2, we get 40. So it's just absolutely insane, right, guys? So yeah, pretty much the first bit here, we don't really see anything too notable here, but I am taking the left path. And the reason why I'm taking the left path right there, guys, is because we want to get the character pickup and then save our materials for when we get to the final like shop, so that we can like use our cubes at that shop. And that's going to be pretty important to kind of exchange for either super awakening, a new character, all that good stuff. So right here, guys, I'm just gonna cut to when we get to a important part, because right now it's not really anything too crazy until we actually get to a character pick. So I'll let you guys enjoy this part of the video, and when we get to the next character pick or the next like anything that's important, we'll kind of talk about that. Alright, guys, we are at the next character pick here, and as you guys can see in terms of the options here, with what my passive is with the female allies here, I'm kind of trying to decide which character I can pick between the Elaine, Lilia, and the Camilla. The main thing with Camilla that I saw value in for her is that she has the stun card, which can definitely help us against the first boss, Meliodas. And when we actually get to Meliodas, we'll kind of show you guys, especially with my team, what I was able to do to kind of cheese him and how Camilla actually did help me in that manner. So we do actually take Camilla here, guys, because she is easily the best pick in terms of providing that cancel stance ability, and also the fact that she's part of the female allies is gonna actually help us when we're dealing more damage in the fights. And you guys will see here that with that attack related that we get from Elizabeth, and then on top of the fact of 40% attack because of the female ally damage, you guys are gonna see here whenever we're doing these like little mini stages, the team is pretty much like farming through these stages. It's just just crazy. Like, this might be the best like Labyrinth clear like you could probably ever get, like this run that I did right here, because you guys will see later on especially that this was one of the like craziest runs ever. But yes. So moving on to that fight right there, guys, we're back to a notable point in the video, which is going to be the shop. And then, you know, since we're at this point in the video, I'm probably just going to continue talking, because we also have after this, well, actually, no, we'll probably cut after this, to the boss. But yeah, so right here, we got Mono, guys. Mono, obviously, being a very, very strong character. She's also another female ally, so that means we are at 60% female damage increase. And right here, guys, we did get an Awakening tier right there as well. We did pick up the Awakening Stars. You don't actually have to pick up the Awakening Stars there, but it's not a bad idea. You know what I mean? It's still not a bad idea. I think by the end of the fight, I got to the point where I had like way too much Super Awakening, and I got extra for no reason. So yeah, like situations like that can arise, but like you're better like safe than sorry. So you might as well like always pick up like Super Awakening whenever you get the chance, because that's gonna be the biggest bonus for your damage, especially like early on. So yeah, you guys can see already right there that Mono is kind of carrying the team now, man, with the amount of damage we're able to deal using her weak point card, following up as well with her spike card too. Like it's just crazy. Like this entire team with that passive that I got might have been the strongest star you could probably get on this Labyrinth. Now, for a lot of people, I think this is going to be one of the most difficult Labyrinths actually as well, because of the fact that it just overall a lot of the strategies that you have to do are either cheese or just passive strats. So right here, guys, what I do is I use an Elizabeth card, I follow up with a Camilla, or no, I do just double a Mono card right there. Yeah. So the reason for what I'm trying to do here is because we're trying to do as much damage as we can on Melly, and also the fact that you know, if we're able to put Melly super low, we can actually get the kill on him. As you guys can see, another thing that I wanted to mention as well is that every time I actually crit the enemy, we are applying a ignite stack. And if you guys didn't notice as well, every character on the field is actually getting a random buff. This buff is pretty much Reinhardt passive right there, right? And so as you can see, like right there, my Mono got all stats, and then my Camilla got like evade, right? But right here, guys, is where Camilla actually shines, right? We get the stun, and we're able to actually remove these stance right there. And because we're able to do that, we could freely attack and not actually get countered to death, being able to take out the Meliodas right there. So that is the first boss, Meliodas. He's not too hard. It definitely like depends on like the characters you get at that point. But yeah, man, it's not anything too crazy, I would say. But yeah, guys, what we'll do then is we'll cut again to when we get to a important situation. So I'll let you guys enjoy this fight right here, and then we'll come back. Alright, guys, we are back here continuing the fight. As you guys can see here, the passes that we were given were basic stats, and that's obviously an easy pickup, guys. Like if you guys see like a 10% basic stats passive, especially when it's UR like that, that's meaning that it's going to be giving you the full 10% versus like, you know, a SSR buff which would have gave you like, you know, 5% or 3%, right? So those are situations where you definitely want to take advantage of that, and yeah, man, pretty important right there. Moving on though, after this fight here, we do get another buff, so I want to kind of just like stall here, and we'll kind of talk about it. But you guys could see here, this team was really cooking, man. You could see Camilla was doing so much damage right there. Usually you would never see a character like Camilla do damage like that, but you know, it's just a thing you're able to see throughout this Labyrinth, and yeah, man, I think it's pretty cool. So right here, guys, after this fight, we actually do get another either pickup, a character pickup, or we get a buff here. So you know, with this team being able to kind of just like one shot through everything, I didn't really have too much of an issue clearing through all these like farming stages. For a lot of other people, you might actually have issues with these stages depending on your team and what passes you actually got, because sometimes this can just be difficult, you know. I've had times where it's just been like super difficult, but right here, guys, in terms terms of the character options right here, we did have Green Melasila, Red Darriere, Matrona, and Shin. And right here, I really was kind of deciding, like, do I take Melasila here? Like, obviously that would be, you know, a decent pickup, but at the end of the day, I did decide on Matrona here, not to actually run around the field, but to maybe have her come out and possibly help us with like healing if we did have any issues with the team dying or anything like that. So that was something that I thought might be the way to go, and we actually did take you know, Matrona right there. So yeah, man. And then right here, guys, we just have like this next fight before we actually get like a Super Awakening, so we'll kind of just like stall through here. But I know the final fight is coming up as well, and so I want to kind of talk about that, because Bon on the second floor is definitely going to be a very, very important boss to know the mechanics of. So yeah, right here, kind of just clearing through, guys. We one-shot the you know, rest of the characters right there, and then Mono obviously doing 141k, bro. It's just crazy. She actually hits so hard, you know, with all these buffs that I was able to get. So right there, we take it the Super Awakening. And after we get the Super Awakening here, we already are at Red 2. And then right here on the Labyrinth shop, we actually get the character options, and we get Festival Merlin. You know, Festival Merlin being a character that is really, really strong because we can apply those, you know, random elements. And, you know, initially, like, when I clicked on Festival Merlin, I thought she was only able to be used with Unknown and Sins, guys. And I swear this was a thing as well. But it looks like she's only, like, she's actually able to be run with pretty much any character. I thought she was only limited to those teams. So, like, you know, overall, you could kind of just run her with anything. And because of that, I decided to swap Camilla at this point in the game and just put on Festival Merlin, because it's just not a bad pickup, right? It really isn't. So right there, we do swap out Camilla right there for the Festival Merlin. I didn't really see a use for Camilla at this point in the game, especially since she already did her job with the thing. Right here, I do take Super Awakening again as well, which might not have been the play, honestly. I feel like maybe getting like ultimate move gauge might have been better, or something along those lines, but you know, it is what it is, right? So after this, we are moving into the final fight here. So what we'll do here is we'll just show this fight, and then we'll kind of talk about it and show my run, and then I'll explain to you guys why my run was like, I didn't really showcase anything, but I'm gonna explain the gimmicks of Bon as well, and I'm still gonna show you guys gameplay of what Bon looks like with those gimmicks. So just so you guys are informed, man. But yeah, right here, we actually are finally loading into the boss here, and so I'm gonna show you guys what I did against the boss, and then I'll show you guys what realistically it looks like when you face Bon, okay? Because you know, for most people it's not going to be looking as smooth as my run was, but you know, we'll have to see here, right? So we're facing Bon here. The main thing with Bon, guys, when you are facing him is that if he has more than 3 ultimate move gauge, he will infinite revive. If he has 4 or 5 ultimate move gauge, he will keep reviving, right? And the way you actually remove the gauge is by either killing him or using a character with gauge reduction. Now with my run here, you guys will see I just did the AoE and I did the gauge reduction single target, and he dies in the first turn. So this is not a good example of what you're meant to do. And so what I did is I pulled up my stream clip. My bad for the you know, the quality here. I don't know why my stream just like did not you know, start really good, but right here will be a good example of what it looks like when you're trying to beat Bon normally, right? So this is when I did it on my free-to-play JP account, and I thought this would be a good showing because I had many points in this fight where I was like, okay, how am I going to go about this with him having the revive now that he has this much gauge, or should I, you know, take gauge from him, right? I think overall this was definitely a good showing of like what, you know, Bon kind of looks like when you're facing him. So yeah, my team that I had though was really strong. You know, Red Brunhild, Red Melasila, obviously Goddess Elizabeth as per usual. And yeah, so you guys can see here the Bon has maximum ultimate move gauge, and as we take out the you know, Bon right there, he revives and loses all the ultimate move gauge, right? So that's pretty much what you want to do, is you want to kill him, proc the revive, and then try and kill him follow up. Or what you do is you make sure his gauge is less than 3 as you are killing him, and that's actually going to help you as well. But sometimes he just does get those merges, right? He's going to get those merges, and it's going to be really, really difficult to actually kind of, you know, force him to get in a situation where you can beat him, right? And because I had a lot of issues actually struggling with him, as you guys can see, like on my run here with my free-to-play account. So it definitely was something that, you know, could be a pretty difficult for you guys depending on your team, depending on your buffs. But for my team that I did on my global, which you guys saw where we one-shot Bond turn 1, if you're able to do that, definitely do that, right? Because, you know, that's when he doesn't have the max ultimate move gauge and you're freely able to do something like that, right? So right here, guys, Bond's gonna just keep attacking into my Goddess Elizabeth right there, and, you know, we're in a situation where I pretty much need to get the kill and follow-up kill as well. But what I actually did here is, because we had double gauge reduction with Goddess Elizabeth, I was able to actually remove him from being 5 ultimate move gauge and put him back to 3, so where my Brunhild was able to kill. So this is kind of some strategy you can do here, you know, making sure you remove his ultimate move gauge twice. If you have Goddess Elizabeth, you're able to do that. So if you can get 2 cards with her, boom, he's at 3 gauge, and now that we're able to attack him, we can actually kill him. So that's, you know, the main gimmicks of Bond. I wanted to showcase that mainly because, you know, people are going to be struggling on Bond, and when they see my clip where I just one-shot him, they're going to be like, how did Amazing do that? So that's normally what it looks like, but because of my passives and how strong my team was, I was just able to kind of one-shot him right there, guys. So yeah, man, now we'll kind of, you know, come back here, guys, whenever there's something notable to kind of talk about. So I'll let you guys enjoy this part of the video. You guys can see here I was kind of looking at like what the floor 3 was looking like in terms of the buffs and everything, but I actually decided to go on the right side because I was like, okay, we could definitely get the shot pickup, and we could probably get the character pickup at the very end. So we go right. So yeah, guys, I'll come back when we get to another notable part of the video. Alright, guys, so we are back here at another notable part in the video where we are at a character select, and as you guys can see with the characters that we have as the options, we see Mael. Now Mael is not a female you know, ally on the team, but remember, guys, the passive that I got was female allies participating in battle increase ally attack, not even just female allies, right? Now if my you know, if I'm able to get another goddess character on the team, we can easily run, you know, Mael goddess team. And that was what I was kind of like thinking there. You know, Matrona wasn't really doing anything from the back, so putting Mael in the back right there made it so that when I do get a goddess character, or if I do get a goddess character, I'm able to run a full goddess team, and from there I'm gonna have, like, you know, a breeze going through the depths and you know, all of that. So right here, guys, we do get a, you know, another character pick, and we get the super awakening. So as you can see, I didn't need the super awakening there, so I got a little bit too much. So maybe don't get as much super awakening throughout the fight, guys. It could definitely mess you up. But right here, guys, you see we do get the Margaret as the option for the pick right there. And so I was like, okay, getting Margaret means means that we can actually run Goddess team frontline. And Margaret is also a female character in the game too, you know, Goddess Elizabeth being female too. So at the minimum here, when I'm running Goddess team, guys, we actually are getting a 40% attack increase for the entire team because of the fact we have two Goddess female characters. And Mael, when we move him to the front, you know, obviously, as you guys know, Mael is able to get all stats from having multiple Goddess allies on the team, and he's also going to give them damage reduction as well, which meant that we have a very, very strong team going into the final fight, being the the Green Escanor. Right, so right here I was kind of trying to decide like what I was gonna go for, so I went for the Hero Enhance as a follow-up. You know what I mean? We back out of here and we go into the next fight here, and then after this fight we are actually moving into the boss, which will be pretty notable to kind of talk about, because you know, with the Green Escanor boss, I think he's a little bit more difficult than or he's not, I don't think he's as difficult as Bond. I think Bond is probably the most difficult boss throughout this entire labyrinth, but once you actually clear out through Bond, you can kind of deal with you know, Escanor like fairly easily, and we'll talk about his gimmicks as well. You guys saw, by the way, Mael is just carrying me now at this point in the game. It's over, like, because I got Mael. And because this passive right here, you guys see, it increases allies attack by 20% for each female ally participating in battle. Not increases only female allies attack based on how many female allies. It's everyone's allies. So right there, guys, was all the passives that I had there. And that was just an absolutely insane run here with what I was able to do. Yeah, man. So right here, we're moving into the Escanor fight, guys. Now, the main gimmick with Escanor here is he's pretty much final boss Escanor, right? So if you put him less than 30% HP, he's actually going to become invincible for 2 turns, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you don't want to actually do too much damage in one hit and proc it. You want to make sure you're able to kill him, pretty much, guys. You want to get a situation where you can do enough damage from around like 50% HP, 40% HP to get the kill on him. And so that was mainly my strategy. So turn 1, what I decided to do here was I was like, okay, let's buff up with Margaret, get some basic stat increase. Let's do a gauge reduction here just so we get the attack related with Elizabeth, and let's just waste my cards, right? So merge my cards, I mean. So right there, we do the gauge reduction, we get the you know, the attack related. We actually do get a merge right there with Mael, and as you guys can see, Escanor is doing a lot of damage here on my Margaret, man. I really thought my Margaret was gonna die here, and it might have been a misplay by me with how much damage my Mael does here. You guys will see, because you know, the Escanor is still full health, but right here I didn't want to do like AoE with Mael because it was gonna do too much damage, right? You don't want to do more damage than you need to. You want to do one big damage hit when he's at a specific threshold of HP, so that, you know, you don't proc the invincibility. So right here, I was trying to make sure that we don't proc that 30%. You guys can see I was kind of like circling it. So right, what I did the gauge reduction with Elizabeth, follow up with the Margaret, so we did a really good amount of chip damage, and then with the follow-up Mael card, we pretty much are able to finish off the Escanor. So right there, we do about 30%, 40%-ish in terms of damage right there, and then when you guys see the Mael damage, it's just absolutely over, man. The Escanor is gonna get one shot, and we completely beat the Labyrinth Season 5 right there, guys. So that is pretty much my run right there, guys, going through it. We still do have the depths here, so I kind of want to talk about the depths briefly, and then also the exchange shop as well. I think those are pretty important to kind of talk about, especially with what they're able to provide you. But if you guys don't know, the main part of Labyrinth, after you've cleared and collected all the material, all your rewards, is gonna be the depths, right? That is where you're actually going to be farming for your LR Quints, for LR Melee, and you're also going to be farming for, the Purgatory Melee outfit, right? So right here, guys, I'm pretty much just going to explain what the depths is and how you go about it. And, you know, the only one that really has a gimmick is this first one, right? This first one, you don't want to actually buff up, so that's why I go for the attacks normally. But for the rest of the fights here in this, like, depths, you can freely just buff up, you know, either by doing the Goddess Elizabeth attack and then getting the buff, or you could do the Margaret buff card itself as well, and you're actually going to be completely fine right there. So I don't think you guys will have too much issues going through the depths, as long as you have a fairly solid team throughout the end. And you don't want to have a debuff centered team, by the way. That's another thing that, like, people might mess up right there, is get a debuff centered team, and because they get a team like that, they can't really damage the boss. So, you know, me getting Mael right there, and Margaret obviously changing the team to full Goddess, and from, you know, like mono and like debuffing the enemy, obviously changed up the fight a lot. But it made it so that I was able to pretty much farm the depths like very, very easily. So Yeah, this guy does have a revive as well. So like right there, I did make a mistake by not actually killing him. So what I should have did right there was I should have just went for the mild single target and then follow up with the AoE, which would have killed him and procced revive, and just finish him off. But yeah, the rest of the fights here, guys, don't have too many gimmicks. You're just gonna go through, you're gonna clear every stage, and you're gonna get these exchange materials. And we'll kind of talk about the exchange shop after my run here goes through. So I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the run, and we'll come back here, guys, and talk about the exchange shop. Alright guys, so now we are actually on the game here, and we're going to be talking about the Underground Labyrinth Season shop here, and kind of explain how you go about the shop, guys, so that you're able to clear through it and get to the Purgatory Melee outfit fast, and also the LR coins fast. Now what you want to be doing is you want to actually buy the Full Awakening token and the anvils first, because you don't actually need to buy any of these boxes here. You actually just want to get exactly 400 points so you can unlock the common shop right here. Now with the common shop, what you guys want to do is actually buy one of each. You're gonna buy the SSR pendant, the hammer, and the SA coin, and that's actually going to add up to the perfect amount being the 1,250, where you unlock the elite shop. Now once you get to the elite shop, guys, it really is up to you what you want to farm out first. You can either get the gems, you can get the Purgatory Melee outfit, you could farm the LR materials as well. You get 20 of them, so if you are missing some LR coins there and you want to get LR Melee, that's going to be the way you actually do it. And then you also do have the Labyrinth dragon card, which is a very strong UR card right there. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the shop and like the guide there. This Labyrinth box, though, by the way, is like not too bad after if you want to farm it. It does have some stuff in it. It's going to be like SSR pendants, like Belmos mats, OG demon mats, just kind of stuff like that, just random stuff that you can actually get through that box. So if you do clear out this entire shop and you're like, okay, maybe I do want to farm Labyrinth a little bit, it's not a bad bang for your buck with your stamina. You actually will be getting some pretty good drops with that as well. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much how the shop goes. Pretty self-explanatory, right? You buy these two, you buy these three, and then you buy anything you want in here. And yeah, that's pretty much the exchange shop right there. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this where I cover like complete guides here for like the Labyrinth or Heroes Arena or any like type of PvE content like Nidhogg, stuff like that, definitely let me know in the comment section below. But with that out of the way, guys, that's gonna be it, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.